I'm going to hold my breath and hope we don't get any more restarts. I think everybody is sick and tired of it by now, but let's go through these again like it never happened before for the YouTube video, of course. So, here we are in the Mega Random 2v2v2v2 show series, Age of Empires 2. First up, first team, Wiggle the Wise in the orange playing as the Franks, and Arduous Vape in the red playing as his signature Celts. Next team up on the bottom left, Caltego in the yellow as the Portuguese, and his teammate Tom Bombadil in the stealthy gray playing as the Persians. Next team around the circle, Hadrian in teal playing as the Burgundians, and to the far east, Squeaky G as the Cumans playing in the pink. And our final team of the evening, Wolf of the North. Thank you for being able to fill in here. Playing as the Britons in blue, and She the Distance as the Tartars in green. So here we go. This is our mega random map. I don't think Arduous was too happy with how close you can tend to be in these maps, but I mean, I think it's a little bit closer than perhaps a 2v or a 1v1 size. But on the same hand, at the same time, you're right next to your ally as well, so you know, there's a potential for support. We have a lake in here. This is basically Mediterranean with a little more space around the edges, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some water warfare going on. I think this is good. The last time a reset was called was because of timing and civ choice being wrong, because it was started before he was ready and not because of the map. So it being the same map is not a problem. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't worry about that. We're cutting out all the resets. But there were only two. It's fine. Let's let's take a look here. What's our team comp going to be right now? We have Portuguese, Persians. That's going to be pretty arrow heavy. Persians, I'm not expecting a douche in a game like this. That would just be straight up suicide. So probably it's just going to be elephants in the Castle Age kind of a situation. Portuguese, hey, you know what? Chat is going to know a little bit more about these than I am, but I guess I could like Alt Tab and check the no, Capture Age locks me out of the regular Age of Empires window. Here on the other side, Arduous probably going to be wishing he had another reset to call because he's got real serious food problems right now. Moving out with a mill to get this just insane herd of ibex. Look at there's 16 ibex over here. And we got his teammate also right up here. Franks. It's a Franks Celts. That's a pretty interesting combo. The Franks are going to be solid front line. Celts obviously going to have those onagers if they so choose. Not as great with the defense. Franks obviously extremely good with the castles. Unzone. Hey, appreciate it, man. Thanks for the sub. Here for the Squeaky G win. Let's check in on Squeaky G right now. Where's he at? Where's our guy? Pink? Over here. Squeaky G has been surprising us a lot lately with his unusual tactics, such as the famed Ram Ranch, the also just complete encircle of your opponent's base with towers is another one. The Monk Mass as well. But the last set that he played against Wiggle the Wise, he decided to actually take it fairly seriously and ended up getting a 2-0 over the guy. It was kind of coming out of nowhere. I think Wiggle the Wise was a little frustrated about that one, and I was a little frustrated that both of the replays broke. So you know, couldn't watch the entire thing, couldn't watch even half of it, but great to see some very impressive stuff from the guy lately. And on his team, Squeaky G's team, Hadrian, I feel like Hadrian hasn't quite had his day in the sun this year. Not quite yet. Not just yet. He lost to Tom Bombadil, who is in the grand final now, in his first round, which I think was round 2. They both had a bye, or I don't remember at this point. But and then in the King of the Losers bracket so far, he has beaten Wolf of the North 2-0, which was, I think, fairly easy going for him, at least as far as the situation with those games went. So the next up game in that losers bracket for him is going to be interesting. But right now, maybe we'll get to see some really exciting things. I think both of these players have some interesting perspectives to offer. Hype from Cycrius, thank you for coming in. Welcome, welcome. This map is just featuring just so many of these Gaia animals, these ibex. I don't think She the Distance is going to be taking those. Famously just wants to build farms as soon as possible because they never run out and you don't have to worry about it after that. Wolf of the North on that team with She the Distance. This is probably the weakest team, I hate to say it, in this game, but perhaps they can chat their way out of death, or maybe nobody will fear them, so they can end up booming and building up much more of a force later on. Of course, the goal in this game for these players is not to necessarily win all out. The goal is to be in the top 3 or 4, probably top 3 to secure it, to top 4 to have a good chance at making it to the next game, which is where the prize money really is. So yeah, I mean, as long as you got that, if you outlast the other players, that's good enough. Kind of an interesting dynamic. Maybe something some people might not be too happy with if they think they're doing well and then they get focused down and some random person is just sitting in the back of a corner hanging out. But that's the way it goes. We haven't taken too much of a look at Caltego and Tom Bombadil so far, but players are now hitting Feudal Age and they are the first. They're in the first 3 to do so. Squeaky G also quite quick with that. Score, stacking up pretty much as you'd expect from our initial placements here. Hadrian, Squeaky G giving a bit of a run for the money to that orange and red team. But yeah, I'm loving the no farms for Tom Bombadil. Actually, we have players going for fishing. We have chat off screen also, by the way, because with this gigantic block of text on screen and chat below it, we'd be taking up like too much. There'd be too much stuff going on. So we also have some tactical walls for Caltego. He knows, wait a minute, I forgot to even think about the placements of these teams are insane. The 2 strongest teams and the 2 probably most feared players are next to each other. So that's pretty interesting, I think. Tom Bombadil, of course, I think maybe even more scary than Caltego at this point in the frame of this tournament. But yeah, I'm definitely expecting to see some significant action over here. Both sides, particularly Caltego, just defending and walling off up here. Yeah, we've got house walls for red, so they know what's coming. In the middle, we have some players fishing. Dock from both of these 2, and a couple of docks on the far side. Surprised to see orange and red not really going for any fish at all right now. Just content to stick to... Looks like he's on the berries now. Took a lot of deer up here, a lot of ibex up here. Orange moving on to farms. She the Distance is moving out with some fishing ships, and Wolf of the North as well. They all recognize the value of that. Hadrian committing hard to the fishing. I love to see that, and no military units yet on the water. A couple of scouts, just giving it a little tap right now, and I think Hadrian might lose this if he's not careful. Downhill fight. Big Tuna, good to see you. Come, welcome in. That's what they say. Welcome in. take a look up here. What we got a circle around the map. Walls, palisades, not complete, but will serve as a you know, forcing your enemy to go around, sort of a tactic at the very least. For She the Distance here, and for Wiggle the Wise on her opposite. So that's going to be a pretty major point of friction right there. And we're going to see, I would expect, a more of a stalemate between Squeaky G and Wolf of the North. Both of these players, a little bit less confident in themselves, would probably be more content to stick it out and wait to see how the game goes. Why is there purple here? Oh, they both tried to build walls at the exact same place, but with It's in the Fog of War, you're allowed to build those foundations, but you just can't do it. That's interesting. Let's take a look at the scouting for these players right now. Nobody is in the castle age, I think, or perhaps it's a market you have to build. Oh, hang on. She the Distance still in the dark age, by the way. That's gonna be it's gonna be a little concerning. There we go. Everybody up to feudal, and Tom Bombadil even making it to castle already. Yes, so these players do have shared vision on now. They've just scouted a little bit around. We're looking at Caltego and Tom Bombadil. Tom Bombadil going for a second and a third TC. This is his just like standard night rush strategy, I believe. I'm interested to see where he takes the Persians. I don't think I've seen him on the Persians before, so gonna be cool to check that one out. We also have Squeaky G going for a double TC now. I think Squeaky G, I'm kind of rooting for the guy in the back of my mind. We have got to pause. No resets are allowed at this point. We've passed the 1 minute mark. All right, we're back. Somebody hit F3. Fishing is going to start drying up on the edges. These players just content to sit on the shore fish for now, but they're going to want to go out into the deeper ocean if they want the gather rates. We have a fire galley for Hadrian. He knows he's committed heavy into these fishing ships, and he doesn't want to lose them. And She the Distance just going for a little scout with one of her 2 fishing ships. I would love to see more there, but I think there are other problems than that she needs to work around right now. How many fishing? Well, what's our villager count at right now? That's a good thing to check out. Yeah, again, I think this is just going to be a stalemate. Although we've got a little bit of a villager trapped behind the enemy's walls here. I don't know about that one. All these little bamboo patches are going to be some very key choke point walling. She the Distance. Better watch out with that scout. Actually, one of the more well-traveled scouts, I think, so far in this game. A couple of players making the rotations, but that triple TC is going to come in clutch, I think, right now. We'll see that kind of length of play is definitely something to lean into in a massive game like this. I'm looking for trade as well. Oh, and we do have Hadrian firing the first shot right now, besides those scouts earlier, which he was also a part of. Going for that fire galley into fishing ship of Tom Bombadil. I think Tom Bombadil might have a bit of a target on his back, being the only grand finalist in the game right now. Alright, sorry about that. My mouse was about to die, so I just had to plug it in real quick. Triple docks. Now for Caltego, probably wants to push back on that pressure from Hadrian. And we also have, alright, Wiggle the Wise moving into the water as well. I really like this map. It gives the opportunity for water play, but also there's plenty of resources and plenty of space if you want to just ignore that. And if you're not as focused on the water, you can still get by. Okay. Well, we do have some aggression from Wolf of the North. He's going for the push versus Squeaky G. Not going to be able to pick off that villager. And he's just going to shoot at these palisade walls with archers for now. Wolf of the North has been very happy to just shoot at buildings with archers in the past. So Okay, Caltego I think has by far the largest fishing fleet right now. 8 from Hadrian. 12. Okay, it's 12 and 13, 12 and 16 for the gray and yellow team. 6 for orange, 6 for blue. I just double click the fish. And 5 for pink. And we have, I mean, at the very least, Squeaky G is pretty well educated in the Age of Empires dynamics, so he should know the unit counters. And now we've got a Castle Age fire ship from yellow coming in. Wait. No, Hadrian in the Castle Age, I'm falling asleep at the wheel, has upgraded these fire ships before Tom Bombadil, and he is heavily committed to the water right now. Here comes a war galley. Now I hope he knows that fire ships are the war galley counter on water with the rock paper scissors mechanic here. We have another war galley, caravel, pardon me, a unique Portuguese caravel. Now these players are starting to hit age 3. We're about half, 2/3 of the way to age 3 right now. Overall in the match, Squeaky G, She the Distance, Wolf of the North, a little bit slower on the draw. But as far as the score goes over here, it's actually looking pretty even. Tom Bombadil, Caltego, couple of 100 points lead. Tom Bombadil just with the absolute boom over here. Triple TC. Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. We do have some stables for teal, so it all depends on how much Tom Bombadil is able to defend this. And, yeah, he looks like he's kind of just going for a naked Imperial at this point. There's that Castle Age for Squeaky G. Playing the Cumans, he did get that early, that Feudal Age TC. So he's going for a much longer boom, which you're able to do as the Cumans. No Rams, though. Not yet. Yeah, everybody would be rushing Wonder. I mean, Wonder Victory is turned on in this game. Relic Victory should be as well, but I don't understand how relics work. So the last time I thought somebody was about to get a Relic Victory, it didn't happen. Give me all the relics. Come on. I'm trying to double click the 1 pixel. Please. 20 relics on the map. So in theory, if you capture all of those, you can win. Alternatively, the wonders are enabled. It's a little harder to defend in age 4 or in age 2. And there's a castle drop for Tom Bombadil. So he, I think, is aware of the dynamics between these teams. Wants to focus on the north. That's my guess, that this is a defensive castle. But it could also just be a launching point. I'd be in heaven. Yeah. I mean, they add a lot more relics. I don't know how much you get with a 4-player, with an 8-player game in age 4. There's a second TC for Hadrian. Love to see it. We have most players now besides Team 4 up here, blue and green, going for at least 2 TCs across the board. There's a third TC for Hadrian and a castle for his teammate there. I am happy to see that teamwork. Meanwhile, Wolf of the North has just set up camp in here. He's taken the stone from Squeaky G, who is okay, and he does have archers here. Squeaky G seems content to not even bother walling this off. He's doing some houses, and he is building, again, like I mentioned, Squeaky G knows a little bit more about the Age of Empires situation than some of the players who might be here. Just going for that hard counter to the archers, the skirms right now. And here is trade being set up for our blue and green team. Anyone else trading it? We've got castles for red. This whole corner is just free and clear. We have water fight, pretty significant water fights going on, but I think Hadrian and Squeaky G will be able to hold this. This is a lot of caravels, but they are trying to fight fire ships, and it's 2v1, so I think Caltego going to have to fall back on that. Very impressive teamwork from these two. This castle is going up, and we have a stable. I think this friction on the water is going to translate into more of a fight on land between the two southern teams. Red and yellow just content to leave it walled off for now. Bulk up. Skirmishers and man-at-arms is our comp from Arduous Vape there. And we have our first Imperial Age at the same time as Squeaky G, or as She the Distance advances to Castle. I may be misreading that. Yeah, I think I am. So our Team 4 there, both reaching Castle, and Caltego is an Imperial, though I'm not quite sure when that happened. Going with the Feitoria. Now, Feitoria are a unique Portuguese building that trickles in resources over time, but generally the consensus is, in the meta of the game, that they are too slow to be worth it with compared to villagers. They take up like 20 or 30 pop space each, I think. Not totally sure. I think it's 20. Losing that water fight now. Caltego just fully committing to the water, and now his cannon galleons even using that tech advantage to his advantage. I'm worried for this southern team at this point. They've poked the bee's nest now, and they don't want to be the first ones knocked out, or because that will guarantee their exit from this series. But like I was saying, Feitoria, for the pop space that they take up, generally considered not worth building until you completely run out of resources on the map. That said, they are safe. They are a safe source of income, and you don't have to worry about how you're getting them. Docks going down for Hadrian. He only ever built one dock, and I think that's just going to be water lost for our teal player at least. I don't know anything about these caravels, but they are now elite. They will probably just beat anything now. And cannon galleons to get a little more range. That TC is not long for this world. Neither are these buildings here. We do have on the south our players, Burgundians, Cavalier, and Light Cav. This is the first real unit mass that we've seen all game. Defensive castle, I would argue, for orange. This little like spur here, I think, is really going to slow down any engagements that happen on the north side. And orange going for an onion double wall, another one in the back to stop any walk-through raids. And actually has built quite a few fire galleys himself. Squeaky G can unfortunately lose that fight as Caltego takes control of the water. The only one who can really contest that right now, whether he knows it or not, is Wiggle the Wise. No one else building any military ships. Caltego leaning hard into the military on the water right now. Not sure what he's... Yeah, he is going to take down those stables with the cannon galleons. The only real mass of units on land that we're seeing is pretty much those Burgundian Cavalier. Okay, we are getting Woad Raiders now out of red. And if it's allowed to build up... Here come the siege workshops. They're pretty close to the water, so if any cannon galleons end up coming over here, they will be pressured. But also monks coming out for our Celt player. So we established there are 20 relics up for grabs on the map, so I'm not sure what the status of those right now. I think we can probably click through here and find out. Any relic listing on this? No, maybe not. Well, there's trade. There's a trade. Hang on. Let me get back to it. Let me play on Rhea and Cam's team. Yeah, for sure. Trade. All right, we got trade listing here. This is going to be She the Distance with 4, Wolf of the North with 6 trade cards, Arduous with 2. So it's kind of an interesting thing to see. I think we'll leave it on. Okay, that one's good. I like that one. Just the resources. We've got castles coming up all over the place for these players. Squeaky G says no more. I've changed the color. There we go. It's back. Wait, something's weird now. I clicked on the wrong thing. What are we... What's going... Oh, no. Okay, everybody is the different color now. How do we reset that? Just gonna spend the next 20 minutes clicking through here to find out. Don't do that. Don't do... Everybody's green. Okay, no. Oh, I see what's... I see. Okay. So... Alright. Alright. It's something like this, and then it's something like... Oh my... No, not like this. We really done screwed up this one, boys. Okay, well, everybody's a unique color, and we're going to have to get used to it now. Things have changed around here. Don't click on the names. I've now learned, don't click on the names. At least this is easier to see now that it's white. And a second castle coming up for Wiggle the Wise, still content to just take their time up here on the north and just boom up, get their siege ready to go. No arduous mangoes. Yeah, not yet. We just saw the first couple of siege workshops coming up. He has gone for fortified wall at the university, though, as, again, about a half to 2/3 of our players are now in Imperial. And no real game-defining fights have happened yet. This has been a very slow-moving game. We've got some trebuchets now. This is definitely going to be the fight to watch. Wiggle the Wise, no. Tom Bombadil and Hadrian going to have to face off. We have Trebs for our player now in the white. And I'm frankly a little worried for our Burgundian player. It's getting in his hole. Yeah, yeah, he is. Somebody needs to poke that guy. And for now, Caltego is just happy to take control of the water. Unfortunately for him, there's no fish left in the ocean. It's all gone. The fish are completely out of the water now. And this looks like it's going to be a cleanup on aisle 9 here. I'm gonna go ahead and uncheck some of these check boxes just to hopefully boost our frame rate a little bit. But here comes Squeaky G. Not gonna have too much luck against the Persian paladins. And right now, Tom Bombadil looks like he's just taking on this southern team, and he's going to be able to clean it all up. Plenty of space for them to delay and defend. Cannon galleons are going to be moving in. That's one benefit that he does have. And here come the fish traps, because that's another thing that you can use on the water, and it's going to prove useful into the late game. He's the David of age 2. Yeah, for sure. I mean, okay, he is streaming in even more now. Our population count, by the way, 115 on Vils, 50 for Wolf of the North. Tends to have a little bit of trouble keeping that town center working. We have been nitpicking him on that in his own games recently. But 28 for She the Distance. Not quite ready to give it all, go all in just yet. 117 for Arduous Vape. Definitely a seasoned boomer over there. 182 for Wiggle the Wise. Highest population count across the board. 133 Vils there. Just, again, taking his time. These trades, very inefficient. This is insanely bad for a trade. This is 6 gold on these trades. Did players just forget that that the distance thing mattered that much? I don't know. But right now, Yellow running for his life. This castle is going to be doing damage. But the Cavalier, the Paladins, problematic. And that is really the only fight going on. No, actually, Wolf of the North now moving. Not really moving in. He's been standing there for a long time. But these numbers are getting worrying for Squeaky G. And this gold might be his last. He's starting to run dry. There's some more gold on that front. But that one's going to be denied. Wolf of the North is going to be happy with that. We got a little bit of a 2v1 situation going on here. Or, sorry. I don't know. They're getting sandwiched regardless. And this 2 trebs? Okay, no. This is... Alright, this is getting out of hand. Hadrian, I think, might be in for a world of hurt if he hasn't felt it already. Watchtower for She the Distance. And this northern side just getting absolutely hammered with those Frankish castles, which are, again, cheaper to build. So, there you go. Okay, a few raids coming through, taking some villagers. I think we can click through this and find KD, Tom Bombadil, with 146 to 18. Definitely finding the value unit with these paladins. Wolf of the North also up against the same team, getting 22 to 11. And everyone else just taking their time for now. Now, having this flank so secure for our top seed team over here is going to give them a big bonus going forward. They're not going to have to worry about attacks from this side. And Tom Bombadil just going for a complete wall off very far forward now. Age 2 winner should have to fight the Age 4 winner in Age 4. I mean, did you see how our grand champion of Age of Empires 2 last year fared in his first Age 4 game? It doesn't necessarily translate too well. And now Wolf of the North also pushing. Now, I would have liked to see more chatter from these players, but I didn't maybe promote it as hard as I should have. I think diplomacy here could be key. But partially, I guess, due to the lake being right here in the middle, it's really gonna stop too much from happening besides these friction points. And it's gonna insulate our stronger players, I think, as well, from being attacked on too many sides at once. Defensive castle for Squeaky G, but that's not gonna hold up to. Let me check here. What's the current count now? 8 trebs. And he's really just gonna need a unit to deny these paladins, but I don't think that the halberdier are gonna be out in time. Still building the barracks and printing them hot off the presses as we go. He isn't in Discord. Those two are probably like, I don't know, they're like on a phone call or on like Facebook Messenger or something. Not necessarily the largest Discord enjoyers in the world. Arduous still trying to harden the northern flank. Looks like Caltago has let his teammate know, hey, I'm gonna need some help taking out some mangonels pretty soon. How's the vision here for these players? Hadrian is really suffering right now, and also he doesn't appear to have allied vision. I don't think he ever researched it or something. I think he was supposed to get it for free. Oh, maybe I'm clicking on the wrong. Yeah. Okay. No, that's just a forward. Okay. Copy that. All right. Yeah, really unfortunate scenario for these two. I thought this was going to be more of a stalemate, but Wolf of the North wants to prove his worth right now and go for his neighbor, take him out as soon as possible. He's going to take a little while. Seems like he's sort of walled himself out right now. I'm not sure what's the plan there. Maybe he will end up seeing some paladins soon and decide that it's time to look elsewhere for a fight. And now we have the transport ships for red. Little does he know. Okay, that's his teammate. So Wiggle the Wise can do screening cover, and he does actually control about half the ocean. I didn't see that happening, but this team taking back some water control. Looking forward to finding out what we see on those ships, as we have a major engagement on the north, on the left as well. 8 trebs here for Arduous Vape, 3 mangoes only, and some AFK infantry units. Gonna be needing those up front. And Caltago opting for the hand cannoneers. That'll do okay here. Hope some workers getting in on the action. And hand cannons a little bit vulnerable to the siege onagers, but they'll take care of pretty much everything else here. And with these paladins around to provide the front cover, he doesn't need much else. I'm looking for what Wiggle the Wise is providing here, because I don't see. I mean, he's on 126 workers, and I guess his entire military pop right here. We've got throwing axemen. And it's going to be in the water with the galleons. I guess Caltego is going to be struggling a little bit there as well. Also, hang on. I think I might be onto something. Their numbers here all match besides 2, and I want to fix that. We'll get there. We'll get there. Hang on. Hang on. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. That one. Okay. And this one needs to be yellow. Alright. We're back. Hey, we're back at the, wait. Wait. How did that happen? As we have a major water fight going on now. There we go. I did it. I saved the day. Only 20 minutes too late. Okay, now we have Wiggle the Wise tributing Arduous Vape to keep his land army afloat. This fight isn't really going strongly one way or the other. Arduous tried to push out, didn't have too much success, and now Wiggle the Wise going to take entire water control. That team is looking very powerful right now. This is their first major fight, while Von Bombadil's been distracted, killing another team, and actually our southeastern team is going to have a bit of a reprieve now, at least from that side. Squeaky G just going to scrape by, going to squeak by. And all of these trebs are going to go down to Helbs. Incredible, incredible stuff. Meanwhile, our main fight... What is this building? Okay, well, we've got a wonder from She the Distance with 52 population. She's decided, time to build a wonder. I think that's the only thing she's really been doing. Now, this has very little defense. And I don't think Wolf of the North is in a position to provide too much more support in that respect. We call this the Clop move. What we call the Clop move would be building 3,000 onion layers of walls around it, and I don't see that here. In fact, there's a way through for between She the Distance and Wiggle the Wise. So, I mean, that wonder is going to have to be dealt with, but I think our two most powerful teams, I don't think they're going to truce just because of that. My guess is they will want to see it through to the end. And Hadrian, Squeaky G, not really in a position to deal with that either. Wiggle the Wise might be able to, yeah, I mean, he's getting some trebs up right now. I think one push from Wiggle is going to be all that it takes to take this wonder down. As it's being built with 5 villagers, it's going to take a while to go up. I love that play, though. That's such a bold move from our lowest score player. Just go wonder, man. It's fine. There's big bombard towers online. Absolutely. I don't know too much about the Tartars. I haven't done any research for this game, of course, since it's being played live. But Arduous Vape is struggling a little bit now to keep the pressure on. We still have... Why, man? Just, go back here or something, please, man. These are delivering 5 gold each. I hope you watch this back, because I need you to know. 6 gold on those guys. Okay. Now, this might actually distract Wiggle enough that he won't be able to provide support for his teammate on the land side. And, looks like Murder Holes hasn't come in for Arduous. This castle is going to go down to the Paladins. And we have some very risky barracks coming up for Arduous Vape here now as well. This is a pretty good composition. A very expensive composition from this team, Hand Cannoneers and Paladins. Do we have any trade coming out for this team yet? I don't believe so. Are they taking gold? Oh, we've got counter raids from Squeaky G. If we know anything about Squeaky G, he is a tenacious player. He holds on and he finds those little holes in your walls. He finds ways around. And with the Step Lancers here to provide the role that he needs, going to be able to do some solid raiding and cleanup on an enemy that nearly wiped out his teammate. All that while this is going on the other side of the map. There's so much happening right now. And this wonder, She the Distance using the market. Wonder's 30% now. It's taking a very long time to go up. And we still only have a few trebs from Wiggle the Wise and not many of throwing Maximin to go along with it. So, If they move in now, She the Distance will be able to defend that. A market for Hadrian here. Squeaky G with a town center down in the southern corner, and he's able to push back. And here comes the trade for our top team. Another castle. It looks to me as though this fight is not going in favor of Arduous Fate. He's kind of getting 2v1'd here as Wiggle the Wise on 200 pop has to just sit in the water. And there is a hole through this wall. Gonna end up with some bloody raids. And we have bombard cannons out for Caltego now too. Big bombards. Second TC for She the Distance will slow down the inevitable push from the north, I think. But you don't really want to go attack a Wonder if your teammate is losing his main TC at the same time, you know? So it's going to be a hard choice for Orange. I would love to see some movement out of the guy. He is taking out docks. He's taking out the coastal stuff from his enemies here, but there you have it. And now Wolf of the North finding a way around. How did this happen? He's going to get blasted by bombard cannons from Caltego, of all people over here, defending his old enemy. Let's take a look at the income here. It's been on screen the whole time, but I'm curious. Worker, I think it's worker count on resource at the bottom. So Tom Bombadil fully tapped out of gold. He's only getting relic, trickle, and trade now. Wolf of the North, 17 still mining. Arduous, 27. As well, maybe this also counts. I don't know. That is 27 traders. So, oof, that is a feels bad moment. I'm really cheering for that Wonder. Yeah, absolutely, Spritzies. Hey, she's got a castle up here. We're gonna need to see what's the resource count look like. A lot of gold for She the Distance. I would be looking for more defensive structures, but she's moved a lot more villages on here. 18 workers now tapping away at this Wonder. I think it's going to at least get built, as Wiggle the Wise has had to pull his army away from the front lines here to defend his ally. Oh man, hey, these hand cannons they sound pretty cool. Listen to these blasts going off. The Spearman only comp is going to melt to hand cannons. It's not going to be quite as bad as if they were archers, I think. Hand cannons fill more of an armor piercing role, but the spears are going to struggle to close on that. I would love to see Woad Raiders. I'm happy to see throwing axemen. But I would also love to see Wiggle the Wise just delete some of these ships, because it feels at the moment like he really just needs land military. And if we had some mangonels from our Celtic player, this could be going a very different way, but as it goes, they're just walking in and getting mowed down by all these hand cannons. Skirmishers would also be a good play, but I think they are both teched to defeat an enemy who no longer exists in that area, who's no longer showing his presence. Tom Bombadil is taking this time out right now to just... We have another pause. Tom Bombadil taking a little bit of time, and it's back. To refocus, figure out what's next. Currently on 29 military pop, and I don't see any more paladins out for the guy. He's run out of gold and had to start trading. It's not an optimal trade route either. I think is he trading? Maybe this? That would be like, okay, it'd be better than 6. I'll say that much. Wonder count is up. Would you look at that? Perfect timing on this. It's a pretty sick looking Wonder from our Tartars. I got a little bit of an observatory thingy going on up there. And now the win condition is counting down for She the Distance. 1,000 years, and the blue and green team win the game. So we're going to have to see if that gets pushed at all from the north. I don't think it will, unless these two teams decide to put a halt on the hostilities. Wonder allowed. Arduous does not understand team chat. Tom Bombadil does. Can we destroy the Wonder and then carry on? As She the Distance's army just crawls very slowly south. I think Wolf of the North has asked for support in his attack here, but also Wolf of the North just going for a longbow attack on the walls against Tom Bombadil. I think he sees the scores and he says, that's the guy I want to target. He walks straight past Squeaky G, and I think She the Distance may be called in there as well. I don't know if she expects the Wonder to stay up at this point, even, because that army is just left. And here's another Wonder coming up now for Wiggle the Wise. I guess we should have seen that coming. He does have the one of the highest worker counts in the game, and hasn't really been spending those resources on anything else. So Squeaky G surprisingly still holding on, pushing back against the oppressor. And Wolf of the North's army is about to be wiped by 2 onagers. This is going to hurt. Oh! How many kills do these guys have? Oh, they both go down. The death ball is still here, but that's a lot of low health units. One more onager, just going to be fed. And we have another pause. No chat just yet. We do have a few parents of young or just newly born children in the game, so this is to be expected. Possibly they're checking if Wonder is allowed. Yes, it is. Can confirm. And we're back in the game. Can Wonders not be a thing? Is that a thing, Dad? I'll let him know in this Discord chat right now. I think that they need to brush up on their team game chat settings, because these players don't know that they're only chatting to one other person, who's their teammate by default. Unfortunate, it really shoots the diplomacy in the foot there, but so far they know that another Wonder is being built, and I think Wiggle the Wise hopes somebody will take out this green Wonder, and then he'll be able to just pick up, stand there in the ashes and say, I win now. This is why Arduous sucks. I don't know about that. He's fighting up against the infamous Caltago, so I would like to see some more mangonels from the guy, though. Some more onagers. Noodle, probably. Thank you, Unzone. Thank you. And Wiggle the Wise still with the just dominant ships. And Squeaky G has somehow made it all the way out here. Give me Squeaky G POV. Thank you. First time he's been here in about an hour. We'll remind, if no one is eliminated, it's the players with the lowest score that are eliminated first. So that are not moving on to the next game. Hadrian, unfortunately, is going to need to work a little harder on that reboom if he wants to be in the running. He got really nerfed earlier. And that's score at the end of the game. So if She the Distance wins with this Wonder, she might get pushed over the edge to be in the top 4 or the top 3. I don't know how many points that gives, but Tom Bombadil basically secured a spot at this point with 24k score. I just am so sad and so incredibly happy about this trade. What is going on? Oh man. And the ship's coming in with support. This could be a real problem for the hand cannons. Basically the Quidditch World Cup from Harry Potter 4. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, yeah, we'll see if she gets the snitch. I would love to see that. Even if she doesn't get into the top 4, I'd still be happy if she won the game. I think she would too. I think that would be pretty hilarious. We've got Arduous Vape doing a lot of raiding. These Celtic raiders are really doing work. Actually, they've destroyed the entire economy from from Tom Bombadil, sorry. He's been looking away or something. No farmers remain. Town bell is rung. I'm shoutcasting now because that's insane, and I want to make up for the fact that I've missed it for like the last 5 minutes. He's just going to be targeting these town centers. I love World Raiders, and we need to see more of those coming in this game right now. That is crazy value. And here are the siege onagers. He's really decided now is the time to go. This is what happened. He dropped them. He dropped them. Came as a surprise to Tom Bombadil, and now he's going to find all these choppers. Hopefully, he will find his way down to the wood. Wow, crazy value. Now, Tom Bombadil at 52 workers, and a lot of those are these fishing ships. We have 10 fishing ships out here. Resources right now, it doesn't really matter for Tom Bombadil. He's sitting on 20k wood, 25k food. This guy needs trade more than anything. He is just struggling on that gold. But yeah, huge play from Arduous, sniping out the top scoring players of villas like that. It's going to really prolong the game a little bit more, I think. We will have to see, as we have, I think, a marker coming in from a player here. That's what that big X is. A ping, possibly. Here's another castle from Hadrian, or from Squeaky G. Really interested that Wolf of the North just keeps on pushing against Squeaky G here. This has just been kind of a 1v1 throughout the entire game. He did try to move in on Tom Bombadil a little bit earlier. But Squeaky G continuing to collect these resources at the bottom of the map. They're free. Why not? And nobody making a move on the Wonder. There are no preparations at all to make any kind of attacks on the Wonder right now from She the Distance. Wiggle the Wise. Probably in a bit more of a precarious situation as far as the Wonder goes, just because he's spawned next to this other team. But he's not going to be anybody's priority. The Wonder has 1,000 years, and apparently it doesn't show up in the UI here. I can confirm in the Age of Empires 2, I think it's 1,000 years. I'm not entirely sure. But time left is 195 years, and it's counting down, I don't know, roughly a year every 2 or 3 seconds. So they're going to have to get a move on, or She the Distance will pull out a clutch victory out of nowhere. Okay, Wolf of the North. Still trying to push against Gray with no siege. I would love to see a ram from this guy, at least. I mean, the pressure is on now, right? It's possible these players have decided that their score is high enough they don't care if the game ends right now. That's absolutely possible. Due to the rule set, hey, that's definitely one way that you can play. If the game ends, you're still guaranteed a place in the next game. But that's that can't feel good, right? Like I see, like, Capture Age. Are you gonna tell me? You're gonna tell me any kind of Wonder countdown? Maybe they didn't expect Wonder Victory to be ever a thing. I mean, I guess we get a good look at the stats right now. At least resources collected, just far and away in favor of Tom Bombadil and Caltego right now. Wiggle the Wise doing pretty well there as well. Guess I'll keep alt-tabbing. 150 years left on that Wonder now. Did not expect this to happen, but I guess it is. You could see a world where that does definitely happen. Okay, I think we're gonna get a Paladin rush towards the enemy Wonder now. I'm pretty sure, because they're not engaging anymore on that flank. And Arduous Vape just taking this opportunity to bulk up his production, his defense on this south side of his base. Okay, it's going to be a drop, and Arduous may be the hero of the match. With all of these champions, that's a lot of champions. We love champions here, and what a crazy unit. You get enough of those guys, you're untouchable. Champions and paladins from this red and orange team. I think that hand cannons will do really well into that, but not at the numbers that you need right now, at least. This team really struggling for gold. Traders just now, okay, I think he's been trying to get him online, but just hasn't happened. And now Squeaky G coming in with the siege ram, the Cumin siege ram. He's trying to find a way through. Squeaky G, these are your walls, so you're going to have to delete a wall if you want to get through here. And we do have bombard cannons from Caltego to defend his ally on the southern flank, and they will tear apart siege rams if it goes on for too long. Also, a flank attack now with crossbows from Gray. It's okay, never mind. The Wonder, they've decided they don't care. By the way, 122 years on the Green Wonder. The Orange Wonder is now up at 319 years. And wouldn't you look at that? Pretty good looking structure, if I dare say. And we've got a drop from Orange and Red. No stay on the attacks during these times of crisis. Looks like Orange has not decided to go in. I'm not sure if he's trying to just wait until the last minute. We're at 112 years on the Green Wonder. It is taking a while to count down. But she's the distance, content to just hang out. Hasn't built any more defensive structures. Just patrolling her army extremely slowly while it tries to stay in pace with the Scorpions here. On 82 population, 36 military, 46 workers. And this is just insane. As another woad, oh no, this is the champions now. Looks like we kind of got a cleanup. Town bell unrung for Gray, but it's not over yet for this, guys. There's still champions in the base. I do like the constant drops, and we are seeing pressure now on these two players. As they're posturing to continue pushing yellow and gray. And we have no more diplomacy coming through at all. No more talk about the Wonders, which, by the way, is at 88 years. My guess now is, I think, even more confirmed. They are just going to sit it out, and they're high enough score that they think they'll be fine at the end. Which is unfortunate for the middle of the pack here. Not really getting much of a chance to shine. Squeaky G has been putting up a hell of a fight on the south. But in 80 years, it's just not going to matter because not going to be in the top 4 right now. He could pull it back if he gets enough military victories, but now Tom Bombadil pushing on, pushing south, trying to clear out that base. Caltego defensive with the hand cannons. And not enough siege to really move forward on this position from oh no, don't do it. Okay, he made it out. He made it out. 69 years on that Wonder. Nice, nice. And more onagers coming through. I'm tabbing out to make sure nobody's complaining in the chat where I said Wonders are allowed. We'll see if we get a we'll see if we get a Quidditch World Cup out of this one. It's looking like it might happen. She the Distance not doing much to boost her score. And if there are no eliminations, that's the only way that we can determine who goes on from there. We've got a ping. We've got a major fight here. 55 Frankish Paladins. Those are a sight to behold. And some Woad Raiders, some champions. This is a push that you do not want to be on the other side of, especially when there are 14 siege onagers in the back. Fortunately for the other team, 47 years remain on the Wonder. And we do have trade coming through for more and more players. Here's a little bit more KD information. 713 killed, 449 lost for Tom Bombadil, fighting on 2 fronts. These onagers will be very, very effective at the hand cannons. And now it's not looking too good for Caltego. The Fatorias are at risk. Tom Bombadil just having so much trouble getting any gold production at all. The trade did not come through because there was no secure place to trade with. And he's been pressured by 3 teams at this point just because of the score alone, I think. It's easy to complain about the Wonder causing a halt to all this drama with 28 years left. But I think that time pressure just adds so much more to the whole thing. And Caltego could drop pretty significantly in score if he takes too many military losses here. Arduous riding that line might make it into the next game, depending on how the second round 1 game goes. Some relics just hanging out there. Look at the production for these players. 60 hand cannons in queue for Caltego, but will it be enough and will it be on time as these siege onagers just continue to push? 13 years on the Wonder. And we've decided it's not even worth trying to attack, I think. Which is odd, because it's very undefended. Yeah. I mean, they know. There's an area of vision around it, but... Yeah, Caltego just falling apart under this pressure. It's going to be close. She the distance, not there with the score. I think it's going to be a World Cup situation. And there it is. The Wonder victory comes through. Nobody pushes it. Nobody pushes it, and there it is. What a game. We got to see plenty of action, and at the same time, we got to see quite the twist. Let's check the stats. Score. So, total score. She the distance at 8,845. I think the situation here, well, technically everyone else was eliminated. So all of that World Cup talk that I was on about, She the Distance and Wolf of the North are guaranteed a seed at the next game. I'm going to call that. That's how it is. Everyone else got eliminated first, so that's where we start at.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
That's it.
Incredible.
I know.
Arduous, you cannot be mad. There was no pressure on the Wonder. 0 pressure. 1 trebuchet would have been enough to take that out. What an incredible play, by the way. I love that.
Was a solid play. Dude.
That was so great.
I'm really glad that Squeaky decided not to. We had an unholy alliance with Squeaky and
Hey,
Adrian.
you were like full aggro on Squeaky for like the first 30 minutes of that game.
I was. I walled off as soon as I saw that because I was not gonna get dumped on. I wasn't sure what the play was there, but
yeah.
Good call on that Wonder. That was good. You took advantage of.
did not. Nobody came at me. And
That's
Nobody
right.
ever
And
attacked.
nobody
attacked. The 2 top teams, Wiggle the Wise, Arduous Vape, Tom Bombadil, and Caltego were like fully fighting for like the last 45 minutes.
I was half expecting Kale to send some ships over because he had control of the water for the longest time.
Yeah, anybody could have dropped that with like 5 units and taken it out, but nobody did. So there it goes.
Like, look, he has control of the water. He could have made some transport ships, and no, he didn't. He didn't send anything across.
I built a castle by the water because I was expecting someone to invade.
That was insane.
That was so good.
Insane.
Upset of the century.
Cameron,
Oh man,
your archers killed so many of my units. I was like pissed constantly.
Man, you did.
I wouldn't
just
call that
had
intentional.
no
It's just
space.
because I didn't remember if it was for certain or not if we were going to have an unholy alliance. But no, I'm glad that we clarified that because
Oh
as soon as
my.
I saw, okay, let's just go for Tom because Tom was put. Then we put Tom on the back foot.
Hey, I knew you saw that guy is extremely high score. He's gonna wipe us all. I'm surprised to see no like in-game chatter really from any players, but I think that a lot of people are having trouble.
I made chatter because freaking Steve kept pausing the game every like 15
Yeah,
minutes.
what was happening there?
Steve is.
I don't know.
I think Steve's being a little salty over here. That's
No,
what
he has a
that's what I'm
child. You got to give him a little
No,
grace for
he
that.
was
That's
waiting-
what it is.
He was watching stream.
Think
waiting
of
to
the
get to go.
children.
Definitely doing that.
He was
Tom
watching
and-
stream.
If
Yeah.
I was
That's
watching
insane.
the stream, I would have
Holy
known that I could
smokes,
have just
dude.
walked into the Wonder Base and.
I'm surprised
I
nobody did. I was
I mean-
waiting for it. I was
Hey,
waiting for it.
Hey, you guys were like full tunnel vision against some of the most dangerous players here.
This is
so.
true.
We didn't forget
Fully
about the
waiting
Wonder.
for
We
it.
just
I
didn't think that was
building
a cool way to win. So
It's
we
not
didn't
worth
push
waiting.
the
That's
Wonder.
why I didn't go for
Yeah.
it. Oh,
Well, fair.
So-
Since She
yes,
the
I am
Distance and Wolf
salty.
of the North were not eliminated, that means that they're guaranteed to go into the next game, and it's
mean-
quite an upset.
Nobody was eliminated
yeah,
somehow.
out.
So
Well,
you
they won, all right, and at the end of the game, everybody's got a cross through their name except those two. So after that, we have to go by score, and that means Wiggle the Wise guaranteed to go into the next game. And after that, Tom Bombadil is going to be up
yeah.
if he has a higher total score than the player who's in 4th place of the next game. So there you go. Sorry that we had to deal with some Wonder Salt there, but hey, so it
Hey,
goes.
if you didn't like my wonder, you could have come and taken out my wonder. I am not a very.
I mean, we've just literally never played Wonder Victories in any game ever. So,
Yeah, but it's always been allowed.
well, no, but
We've never
guess it was in
disabled
this
it
game.
in the rules.
Yes, it has been allowed.
That's true. That's true. In
Only
previous
Craig
years,
Wonder.
we've had it on Conquest only, but in all the documentation for this one, I have said standard is the way to go. So
Standard.
what can you do?
I feel like Hadrian and I deserve an assist for the hard pod kick.
This is true.
Facing
They enabled us.
Literally
They
goals.
let me go through their
Was he
base to
fighting you
get to.
guys?
I was
Yes,
broke-
constantly.
Yeah, Tom Bombadil basically wiped Hadrian in the first like 45 minutes.
Yeah, and then
Oh, that's why his
I was
score was so
I was
high.
poking Squeaky and Hadrian, and then Kyle came into the chat asking us to ease up a little bit.
Okay, but-
And so I decided, okay.
At that point, I had like 10 villagers. I was like, come on, man.
Oh
Wiggle and
boy!
I
You
were just
see-
about to roll through both yellow and gray.
I know you were doing really well, and
We
that
just
is
started
disappointing to
churning
end the game like that.
Caltago.
I kept getting in and like damaging Tom's eco, but I just couldn't actually do anything lasting to him.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, and so when
Well-
I-
Caltiger is pseudo intellectual, so he shouldn't be that hard to get through.
dude, those cannon galleons have the most ridiculous range I've ever
They
seen,
will,
dude.
they will.
It's like halfway across. I think I'm safe, and then he's shooting like halfway across the shoreline.
You
Like-
think that's got good range? Wait until you see the Turks cannon galleons.
Oh no 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 no.
The bombard towers, it's pretty cringe, bro. What do you have to say for yourself?
He's having PTSD, Tyler.
Oh no.
Taylor has nothing to say for himself.
Well, you're welcome.
He's trying to
for that
figure out how his
incredible-
mic works.
Well played, She the Distance. Well played.
Well played, well played. You gotta respect, recognizing.
She made a call, and it was the right one.
There you go. Sorry to those who were doing so well right at the end, and to whom that victory condition
That
came
was-
as a surprise.
I really can't-
I gotta say that sucks. But
I can't remember the last time I've gotten to a late game like that. Oh my god, there's so much happening.
That's the
This
first
was the
time
perfect
this
map
tournament
for a
that I
long
have
game.
Okay, then.
yeah.
reached
Yeah.
into-
When we finally got the game,
Hey, it only took 2 restarts. It's fine.
yeah, only 2 restarts.
I'm changing the rules here officially for every following 2v2v2v2. Only 1 restart per team. We're not doing 8 restarts.
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Thank you,
Approved.
dude. I didn't care about the map, man. I just wanted to
And
play
no
the
more
game.
wonders.
Yeah.
No, wonders are still on. You just gotta deal with it.
No.
Could
I'm.
have come in and taken me out. I had no military.
This is inherently true.
Worth it.
Well,
Worth.
we thought that the other guy would do that because
Well,
real
that's on
conquerors
you.
don't
That's
chase
not on
wonders.
me.
They chase.
I
blood.
just sat there for
They literally chase the
350
blood
years
of their
and
enemies.
nothing happened.
Oh man. Well, let's make it a 2 out of 3. Everybody, get back in the lobby.
Oh no, I'm good.
That's not that.
Hey, I'm up for
I
it.
can't.
Let's go.
I'm counting this as a
Roll it
victory over
back.
Caltago, and I'm gonna just go to sleep with my salt.
Okay, sounds good.
You enjoy that.
Oh man. Well, there it is. So we're really looking for the second round 1 game. I think we're gonna get some more powerful players overall through, besides just their wonder building capabilities, through to the final game from that game. So I would be afraid, be very afraid if you made it through from this game.
Yeah.
But GG's.
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 GG's.